question.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if you guys might engage over me, if it's
Mm-hmm.
possible. Um, I don't know how much I have shared this with all of you, maybe with Amanda, I don't know. But I have struggled a lot with getting into DKA, which is like diabetic ketoacidosis. And it's something that is extremely dangerous and life threatening. Um, it also, because I don't have insurance, cost me an arm and a leg to go to the hospital. And so um, every time I have to go to the hospital for it, it is thankfully it has been easy for them to treat and get under control before it's too bad. Um, but I can't always do that from home. I always do my very best to do it from home, but it has not always been successful. Anyway, I don't know what to do about it. I mean, I've been working with my endocrinologist about it, of course, but it's just a problem with having type 1 diabetes. And so last night I was struggling again with it. Um, Finally, I felt like the Lord intervened and got me out of it around 2 a.m. Um, but I could really use some engaging over it. Like if there's anything I need to do in the spirit and the natural, anything like that, I need some wisdom. And so I would love if you guys might want to engage over me for that. I know everybody has their own stuff going on, so I don't mean to be a burden, but that would be nice.
What,
Never.
what is it called? What's the thing we get engaging over?
It's called DKA or diabetic ketoacidosis.
Okay.
Okay.
What is that? What is that?
Okay. Who's saying what's going on? I'm hearing
I said, what is that keto diet?
Diabetic ketoacidosis. It's basically where uh I don't exactly know what causes it, except for I know only type 1s get it. So I'm not sure exactly, except for what happens is that you get ketones in your urine and all of that. It's kind of like when other people go into ketosis, like a lot of people do a ketogenic diet. If you get into ketosis, your body starts eating fat instead of sugars because naturally our body eats sugars for energy, like uses sugars for energy, but your body starts in ketosis, your body starts using fat for energy. But with a type 1, when that happens, it makes your whole body, it makes your blood acidic. And so it's like it kills you. So my blood sugars will go up and up and up, and insulin won't work. So the insulin, doesn't matter how much insulin I use, it just keeps going up and it gets worse and worse. And the insulin isn't being utilized because the sugars aren't being utilized. And so anyway, it's complicated, but basically it's a lot to deal with. And when it happens, you get to where you can have a stroke really easily. You can have, brain fog. Obviously, you see, I'm probably doing that right now, but that's like a real problem. Is like you can't think, you act real weird. You might have seizures, things like that. You definitely pass out, things, all of that. And so, anyway, eventually it kills you if you don't get it under control. Usually, you can get it under control with a lot of fluids and electrolytes. Like usually you go into the hospital, they'll start you on fluids, they'll test your electrolytes to see what's out of balance and give you what you need. Like last time I was there, they gave me, just basically saltwater saline and magnesium drip and antibiotics, because if you have any kind of infection, it makes it worse. It happens easily. So, anyway, I don't really know how to explain it better than that. You could probably look it up and it'll do better than I just did, but that's kind of what happens. Anyway.
Yep, we can definitely engage. The Lord knows best.
He does. I know. I would love to know any tips that he has for me, or hey, just come here and do this. That would be awesome. So okay, so let's
Christine,
engage for a little bit. Yes, ma'am. Sorry.
how did you find out that you were type 1?
Um, well, they misdiagnosed me for a long time because it's really common for people to, it's most common for people to have type 2, right?
Yeah.
And for a long time, they thought that only kids got type 1. That was
Uh-huh.
for many years. They thought type 1 was only childhood diabetes kind of thing. But
Okay.
then they found that adults can develop it too, that it's actually just as common. What happens is you do a test that tests your antibodies. And so if you have these certain antibodies, then it will show that you have type 1. And it's basically your, it's an autoimmune disease where your pancreas stops producing these certain enzymes and won't produce insulin anymore. And so it stops working. So
Okay, totally get it because my mom was a type 1.
it is genetic. So 100% get tested for that. Um, a lot of times, like if you have siblings or whatever, they'll all have type 1. They'll develop it at some point. So just be, I would get tested for that, especially since you are having diabetes, because they just automatically assume, oh, you're overweight and you're an adult, you have type 2. So that's kind of what happened to me. Yeah.
Yeah, because my sister, one of my sisters, my second oldest sister, she's she's always been very thin,
Mm-hmm.
and then she gained a lot of weight and then she lost it. But she struggles more with diabetes than me and my other sister. Me and
Wow.
my other sister are, we're pretty much overweight, and so, but she struggles with it the most.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm wondering if maybe she's the one that's type 1 and
I,
she can't get it under control.
I would not be surprised, especially thinner people. That happens a lot. I mean, with me, I lost a ton of weight when I didn't know I had diabetes. At least I didn't know it was anything to be concerned about, because when I knew about it before, it was only pre-diabetes and not that big a deal. And then all of a sudden, I found out that, oh, I had an A1C of 13. And so it was horrible. And when that happened, I had lost like a ton of weight, probably 50 pounds.
Uh-huh.
Um, and it was, and also losing my hair and all the things because my body was eating itself. So it started eating all my muscles and everything. So anyway, yeah, it's not very fun. I thought it was great. I was like, yay, I'm losing weight. You know how
Yeah.
that is. Oh, good. Supernatural weight loss. That's what I thought. No. Darn.
Yeah, I've lost 15 pounds since I fell the other day.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that was a lot. And it was within like, it happened Friday. And then on that Tuesday, I think it was, I weighed myself. I had already lost 15 pounds.
Wow.
So, yeah, everybody's like, oh, that's good. And I'm like, that's not the right way to lose it.
Right. That's kind of the problem.
Yeah. Well, let's
Well,
engage.
let's engage together, guys. And also, of course, let's just engage the heavenly classroom and see what the Lord wants to speak to us. Please don't feel obligated to just engage over me. Like, let's see what's going on. Cool. All right, let's do it. Right? Are you guys ready to focus back here? Okay, at least Pearl is. Is there anything that you guys got while we were engaging that you'd like to share?
I'm going to share, but I'm not 100% sure if I am really that focused, but I'll share anyhow because I asked the Lord to lend me his eyes.
Okay, that's good.
So, what I saw, which seems strange, is like a banana. So I don't know what bananas have to do with the condition DKA or whatever it is. I also saw like you were kind of like drinking like the like boiling the skin and perhaps drinking it or something like that. So I don't know what that is all about. So take it or leave it, Lord. I ask that you would bring revelation or just release it as whatever.
Okay,
Yeah.
awesome. Thank you. And there is a part of it actually that I didn't mention that when you get into DKA like that, um, you'll have to drink a sugary drink or something like that that is and also take insulin to kind of rock your system back into using sugar and stuff. And so
Okay.
a banana would be amazing for that. And just like Amanda said, it has a lot of potassium too, which is super good for, I mean, that's an electrolyte you need, you know? And so
Okay.
those two things are awesome. But I will press in about the boiling of the skins. I have seen somewhere something about that. I just cannot remember what it was about. So, anyway, I'll ask the Lord more about it, but thank you for sharing that.
Okay. I thought it was a bit weird, so
It didn't seem so weird to me.
oh, okay. Oh my gosh. Oh, bless the Lord. He's faithful. I just thought, how random.
Oh, that's good.
With regards to the class,
Yeah.
I sense especially not just for the first class, it's like the Lord is saying, it's like taking us to another level, but another level of just absolute rest in the finished work, rest in terms of we are we are not to really see ourselves as children of this realm, but children of his realm, as in the kingdom of God. And the more we see ourselves as being there, he said he would emerge from a place of rest and peace. And we are to continuously practice being in that place of rest and peace, but where he is.
Mhm.
I just feel like, yeah, there's just a strong, there's a stress on where he is and that practice of peace and rest in him is as though it's not a matter of fighting. In that place of peace and rest, we have the authority and he will manifest. He will show himself strong.
Hey, thank you. That goes a lot along with what he was emphasizing to me to talk about today. So awesome. Nidia?
I saw a blue, like a baby blue light around my heart. That's the same blue light that I see around my heart. And then it expanded and I saw us in that blue light, like
Uh,
it covering our whole body.
I'm sorry,
And
sorry to interrupt, Nydia. I'm not sure whether it is. something near you? It seemed like there is an echo or something else in the background, the noise.
I do have a family, so they're very noisy. I
Oh,
apologize.
That's what it is. I was
okay,
like, it's
okay,
her
that's
family
fine.
in the background.
Okay, I'm sorry. I wasn't sure.
It's
Mm.
okay. I don't, I wish I could place mute. Um, oh yeah, so I was seeing like the light. Actually, Amanda has that little, see how it has the little world and then it has a little age. Okay, so it looked like that around our bodies, like little glow, and that like a light, blue light. And it was just actually, besides being healing to our bodies, it was rest. And I also, yeah, felt like rest in the Lord, rest in the Lord. And then all of a sudden I saw a brick, not a brick wall, but just like a brick section of those old school bricks, maroon colors. And that it broke. And at that moment, I also felt like there was like maybe breakthrough. Um, but I felt like like more of a complete rest. That's what I got.
Awesome. Cool. Thanks. Amanda, have anything to share?
Yeah, mine was like totally different. So when I was engaging over you, I could see like you were kind of like spiraling, and I guess it was more like, I mean, I'm not even gonna guess what it was because I don't want to put my stuff in there, but I could see like swirling and like kind of like you were going backwards, and it's kind of like you felt like you were spinning out of control, but it wasn't, you weren't really spinning out of control. It was just something that was coming into like alignment. And so what I saw was, because I began to ask Yeshua about it, and then I saw like a sword in your left side, and I thought it was a sword in your spleen. And so I was asking like, what can you do? Is this something that's supposed to be there? But also I felt like there was a lot of like stress can add onto that,
Mm-hmm.
and worrying about it. But I also felt the Father saying, that He's always with you, and that He's there to protect you, and that He has your back, and that He's working through this with you.
That,
And
that he's what?
so
Can you say that last part again?
He's working
Uh-huh.
He's working through this with you.
Okay. Cool.
And that did you what it reminded me of was, um that saying, you're a thorn in my side.
Yes.
And I don't know why that kept resonating, was a thorn in my side. And so yeah, that's pretty much what I got. I asked about, is the sword supposed to be removed, or how can we remove it, but I didn't get anything on that.
Okay.
And then just like on a side note, the potassium makes so much sense because when my mom was going through this thing, with not being able to control her sugars,
Mm-hmm.
um, she would have to eat a lot of bananas too. And the potassium was one of the things that anytime that she had to go to the emergency room, that was what was out of a out of
Out of
she
balance.
either, yeah, out of balance, because she either had too much or she had too little.
Hmm. Interesting. Okay. Thank you. And hi, Karen. We just got through engaging.
Hello.
Hi. Um, well, one of the things the Lord reminded me of is well, it's like he showed me it's kind of confusing because it's not exactly, it's like lately he's been having me lay myself out as a sacrifice before him, but it's also like resting in him at the same time. I know it sounds very strange. It doesn't make sense in my mind how I'm describing it, but that's what it's like. And um, anyway, it's kind of like it's different than um, in the past how I've laid myself out as a living sacrifice. It's more like I'm laying myself out bare for him to do whatever he wants with me. And then it's like I'm kind of merging into him in rest. And so, anyway, I was reminded of that and how even last night when I was struggling so much with the DKA, how that's what I was led into again. And that's after that is when I came out of it. It wasn't like immediate, but it was pretty soon after that. And so he was just reminding me of that. And he was also reminding me of some other stuff this week, which is going to relate to what I'm talking about today. So I will get into that first. Okay. Of course, this always happens. He always is like, oh, and this and this. Um, so I just
I
want
just,
to,
oh, Christine,
sorry, go ahead. What?
I just quickly looked up uh boiled banana peel,
Yeah,
and it says yes, boiled banana peel may be good for people with diabetes due to its high fiber content and antioxidant properties, which may regulate blood sugar and improve insulin sensitivity because of the other compounds it has in it, etc.
that's
But obviously,
cool.
still more studies needs to be done.
Perfect. That's so cool. Karen, what you were missing is that we were engaging over things that the Lord would lead me to, either in the natural or in the spirit, for dealing with the DKA. And so, anyway, Pearl saw the bananas and boiling banana peels. And so, I wonder, with the boiled banana peels, do you drink the water, or is it something you should eat the banana peels? Do you know?
I saw you drinking the like a tea
Liquid.
from it, in
Okay.
other words.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. But
Okay,
like I
cool.
said, I'm not sure.
Hey, we just follow whatever the Lord leads. I'll tell you
I
what.
wonder if you can add some cinnamon. Banana and cinnamon sounds yummy.
Maybe, yes.
Like banana bread
Yes. Well,
flavor.
it's so funny because I just have to say this on a secondary note. Cinnamon can help with insulin sensitivity, like insulin resistance. But there is a joke in the type 1 community that everyone says, oh, if you want a cure, you have to take cinnamon. And cinnamon doesn't do anything for type 1s. um, and it's kind of funny. So I'm not saying that to diss you, Nadia, because I actually love cinnamon, whether it's for benefit or not. It's like
I'm
all
just thinking,
these
even if it's
warm,
just for flavor.
I know. I was thinking that too. Like chai is my favorite. I love warm spices so much. That's like my very favorite. It's kind of funny because my sister hates them with a passion. And we're complete opposites, but I love all that stuff. So, yeah, it would be like a treat. Okay, well, let's get started. So I'm excited about this class, Heaven Emerging. I really believe that the Lord is going to bring us to a different level of functioning than we have been previously. There's stuff that I feel like we're going to go over some of the things that we know, but go a bit deeper and wider on it. And so some things you'll be like, oh my gosh, are we talking about governing again? But it'll be so good. You know what I mean? It'll be so important for us. And actually today it'll be kind of like that because um one of the things the Lord was reminding me of when we were engaging was earlier this week, I had a reminder of I was super, super busy, but it wasn't just being busy. What does that mean? Speed up?
Sorry. I don't know.
Am I talking too slow?
No,
Okay, here's
definitely not. Oh, definitely not.
speed up, Christine. Okay, I'll try really hard.
No, definitely not. You know, when you try to do one of these, like, whatever,
Yes.
I just ignore me. I'm so sorry. I don't know how to get rid of it, though, having said that. Oh,
I
press it.
oh, I have never seen it before, so I'm kind of
No,
excited to
don't
know what it
I?
means.
I'll do a better one.
There you go. Okay. Oh my gosh. Well, the funny thing is, sometimes when I listen to myself speak, I'm like, oh my gosh, speed up. You are sounding so slow. It's gross. And so it is kind of funny that you put that because I'm like, oh man, am I doing it again? I do that sometimes, especially when I'm thinking. Yeah, sorry.
No, it's the Lord saying that He's speeding us up, right?
Okay, there. We'll take that sign. Speed us up, Lord. Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, like I was saying, um, this week, actually, my life was being sped up, but it was not in a good way. Um, it was one of those that, do you guys remember me talking about governing time instead of letting time govern you?
Vaguely.
Okay, well, good. We're going to talk about it some today, at least. Because I had one of these feelings this week, like, oh, I need to be nicer about my language. I'm going to say, shoot, this time is governing me again. That's what I felt. It's like I couldn't keep up. Um, just something, always someone is changing something of what I'm doing. And oh, well, now I need this too. And I'm like trying to keep up with everything and feeling totally overwhelmed. And it wasn't that anything was really horrible. Some things weren't great, but it was really just the amount of just not feeling like I'm governing, it feeling like I'm being governed, you know? And so, anyway, I spent some time with the Lord going, okay, I see the problem. What do I do? You know? And He really showed me that it was, again, what I expected, my lack of governance. And when I say that, I don't want anyone to think I never govern. I do, but there's just something different about living from the place of governing compared to governing one time a day. Do you understand what I mean? Oftentimes I talk about, okay, make sure you govern your day, maybe at sundown or something like that. I don't think I've really talked about how to live from your seat of rest. And that's what we need to learn. Okay. So, when I talk about your seat of rest, what I'm really talking about is your throne. Your throne is a place where you are governing from in the heavenly realms. You are governing from heaven. It has nothing to do with the earth, except for maybe some things you govern manifest on the earth, but it's really about living from heaven. In that place, it is exactly what we were talking about. I don't remember who said it actually, but basically, it's about living from that place of strength and authority and power that comes from resting in the Lord. And it doesn't have to do with us having to produce it. It doesn't have to do with striving. In fact, most of the time when I talk about sitting in my seat of rest, I'm not even focused on my throne. I'm focused on resting inside of the being of the Father. That's what I'm focused on most, is actually resting in him and letting everything else flow from that place. So I can be actually seeing things and governing on my mountain too, but that's not really the point. The point is the resting and the being in him and letting him work through me, so that I'm not being governed by everything on this earth, that I'm the one in charge, and I'm in charge because I'm with and in him, and I am on mission in the earth. I'm not just getting crap done. You know what I mean? I can't be the only one who is this person who's just like getting crap done all the time. But it's a problem in my life sometimes, running this kid from here to there, and then this kid from here to there, and then, oh, I forgot I have to mail this out and I have to get this done. And it's always something stupid. It's just like really dumb stuff all the time, but it's stuff that's necessary. It's just, that isn't what my life is about. My life is not about getting the little crap done. It's about really being on mission from heaven into the earth. So if I'm going to the post office to mail out something, that along the way I am governing, I'm on the way in my car with the Lord, in the Lord, going, okay, I'm bringing heaven to earth. This is what I'm doing. I'm bringing the light. I'm bringing the life. I'm a representative here. And so then when I get to the post office, every interaction has to do with the Lord. Even though I might be paying for something and writing something down on a mailer, I'm really interacting with the person at the counter and anyone in line and all of that. And I am especially affecting the atmosphere. And so it's just a different way of functioning, because the earth wants to rule us, and the spirit realm of the earth, and even the elements of the earth. All right. That's an unnatural order.
What did you say, that the spirit of the earth? And
I was saying the spirit realm of the earth. Okay. So, like, for instance, all of the fallen angels and things reside in the spirit realm of the earth, right? You understand that? So, a lot of Christians, especially, are taught to interact in the spirit realm of the earth, that we're fighting demons and things like that in the spirit realm of the earth with our spirit. But they're meant to rule the earth. Like, they were literally put here to rule the earth, right? When they fell, it was, okay, sorry, but now you're the ruler of the earth instead of in heaven. And so it's a lower plane. It's not the plane that we're supposed to be ruling. We're supposed to be ruling from at least one of the realms of heaven. Okay. So I rule from a lot more than one realm of heaven, but at least anyone who's a believer is supposed to be ruling from at least one realm. Okay. And so when we do this and we rule from there, everything is different here in how we are, in what our bodies experience, what our soul experiences, what everyone around us experiences, and who we are is true ambassadors to the earth from heaven. Because, I've talked about this a lot, and I talked about it this last week in our intro class, which Pearl was a part of, so that's why I'm saying this. We talked about knowing the culture from which we come from, right? We are learning. People in this class, I can just tell, even, I would say, Pearl, you are a person who I think of as very mature in the spirit and in heavenly things. Okay, I don't know if you see yourself like that, but that is how I see you. Okay, I know you don't. But let me just tell you, your questioning of yourself today when you said, now this is going to sound weird. As soon as you said that, I thought, shoot, she doesn't know the culture as well as I think she does. Because if you did, you wouldn't have said that, you know? And I do it too. Okay. There are times where I'm like, oh, you guys are going to think this sound weird. And that is me going, um, I expect us to not know the culture of heaven. Because those of us who know the culture of heaven, it doesn't seem weird at all that the Lord would show us bananas and show us the skins and boiling it and what to do with it. That's not weird. It's totally normal. Right. And so when we are ambassadors from heaven into the earth, our culture is heaven. And when we find ourselves feeling like it's foreign, it's a good little red flag reminder. Okay. I love these actually. I love the red flag reminders, even though it sounds terrible. It's nice because it's like, oh, huh, I need to focus in more. And it's just something like, oh, right. I do this with the fruit of the spirit too. Like if I feel like I'm being impatient, it's like, oh, I haven't been tapping the spirit enough, apparently, because I'm not having the fruit. And so it's not any sort of condemnation. It's just a good indicator, like, oh, right. It's a good reminder. So for us to know the culture of heaven as more normal than the earth takes a complete shift, a complete shift. And all of us here in this class are trying to make that shift. Every single person here is like, that's the point. I know that's the point, but we are not making it the norm. We're still visiting. Okay. And so this whole visiting all the time thing is the problem. I don't know how to say this in a different way, but that's how, when I felt like I was being governed by time instead of governing time, that's when I had that red flag moment of crap. I'm not living from heaven right now. I'm not. I'm absolutely living from the earth. And it's a good thing to know because then I can really get refocused. For me, the best time for me to refocus, and it's not like this for everyone. I kind of think it should be. That's my own opinions. Take it up with the Lord. But I think that Shabbat is the absolute best way to refocus on resting in Him and being in Him. It is the best way for me. So here comes Friday night, and I'm super excited because I have set time aside for rest. Now, I've been running on empty the whole week, and I was like, oh my goodness, you mean I can rest without feeling guilty about it? Because anytime I need a nap or something, I'm feeling guilty because I'm not getting all the other crap done. And so I have a day of rest that's actually mandated from the Lord. Praise Him, you know? And so, anyway, I get real excited about my Shabbat. So here comes Friday night, and I'm like, I am going to focus in right. I am not just going to watch TV or do whatever. I'm going to really focus in and go, okay, Lord, this is between you and me. So remember when Patricia was talking about how she was doing that Shabbat in your home or something like that. Do you remember this? She talked about it a few weeks ago. She posted the link on our group
Oh,
for
yeah.
for this thing she tunes into. It's like half an hour or something to start off Shabbat. Well, so I was like, I've been meaning to do that. Okay, I would like to do that and have someone else lead me because I feel like I kind of stink at it. And so, all right, I'll try that. And so I I did. I opened it up and it was really good for me. I did not get through the whole thing. I didn't have the patience for it. I'm just going to be honest. But the first part was really great and what I needed. And so, and this is kind of how I am. I don't know if you know this about me, but first of all, I struggle with preaching and stuff like that. And a lot of Bible teaching and stuff that people do. Um, I think Bible teaching is great, although most of it these days really doesn't hit me. And so it's like I need the Lord to do that for me. And so that's just me. It is not how everyone should be. That's just how I am. And so once he got to the preaching part, I was like, I'm done. And so I skipped that part, but the first part was so good to focus my attention on the Lord, on real rest, on really, I don't know, it being about the right thing, about resting in Him and setting my time aside and having my attention be on the right things and be on Yeshua and His sacrifice, and all of that stuff was so good for me. And so I started out there, and I really spent that night and the next day simply resting in the Lord, specifically the Father for me. So I would have Yeshua take me to different places to rest, but I would always end up in the Father. And I need that. And I did a lot of sleeping. That's not the kind of rest that I mean when I talk about resting in the Lord, but it is also good. So there's resting in our bodies, resting in our souls, and resting in the spirit. It's really awesome when we do them all together. And so the best thing for me is to really focus in as I'm laying down to rest my body. I'm focusing in on Yeshua taking me to rest my soul with the Father. And so he takes me around and I just say, okay, I want my soul to be completely at rest. And then I focus in on the Father and just experiencing his love, his goodness, his shalom, all of that until I fall asleep. And when I do that, it is a different kind of rest. It's just a different kind of rest. I can do it every day. I don't need Shabbat to do that, but Shabbat is a good excuse for me to practice. And so for me, I took a 3-hour nap on Saturday and it was great. And I don't even care that anyone would think I was lazy. I didn't even get out of my pajamas all day. And I was like, I don't have to. I don't have to leave my house. And that is a big deal for me because usually I'm like, gone, gone. If you saw my cameras at home, you'd be like, shoot, that girl's constantly running. And so it's really cool to be able to just do nothing and be okay with it and just be like, yeah, I'm going to sit here and talk to my daughter. I'm going to talk on the phone with my mom, and just whatever it is, I could spend time with having quality time with people I love. And I could also just chill and be with the Lord and practice. Oh, thank you for the hand hearts.
Yeah.
Anyway, for me, what I have recognized is, especially when I let busyness take control, that's when I stop governing from heaven and I stop sitting in my seat of rest. And it's so important for me to be able to be full-time in heaven and part-time in the earth instead of the other way around. For a long time, it was the other way around. And still I fall into those patterns sometimes when I am mostly in the earth instead of mostly in heaven. We're always multidimensional beings. When we recognize that fully in who we are, and it's something we're mindful of all the time, it's easy to live from heaven because we can focus kind of both places all the time. And we can be like, oh, I am folding laundry, but I'm also focusing on the Lord. And I'm also focusing on bringing heaven into my touch and the things that I'm doing. And so every time I fold this laundry, my kids are going to feel the spirit or whatever. Okay. You understand what I'm saying? Like you can do that. And you're bringing heaven to earth in your everyday life. I see you praising the Lord.
Yes, it's because you reminded me. It's so beautiful. So when my husband was on his vacation mode, was not with the Lord, one of the things the Lord had me do was when I was do his laundry, I would anoint everything, by the way, the house, the bed, everywhere where he was at. But one of the things he had me do is on the laundry, I would I would put either holy water or a drop of holy oil to anoint the clothes. He had me do that.
That's awesome.
So it
That's
worked.
that's what it's supposed to be like. I mean, it's really supposed to be like this all the time. And you do whatever the Lord leads you to do with that stuff, like doing holy water or oil or whatever, but you can just do it with the Spirit too. I mean, this is something I've thought of a lot. You know how people say, "Oh, my secret ingredient of this dish is that I'm cooking with love." It's kind of a real thing. And when we focus on infusing whatever we're eating with healing properties or whatever from the tree of life, from the spirit of the Lord into what we're doing when we're cooking, it changes things. It changes things for everyone who eats it. And I don't think people really understand that we literally change physical aspects in the earth. There are physical things that change when we bring heaven to the earth. I want to tell you a story. Some of you may have heard it before. Please forgive me if you have. Um, there was a time when I went to Laredo. You might know where this is. I went to the Val Triangle. Do you know where the Val Triangle is in South Africa? Oh, you are not unmuted.
Sorry, I heard about it, but I haven't been there myself.
Okay. Well, we were called to go to the Val Triangle. It's in Free State. And anyway, when we went to the Val Triangle, the Lord told us that we were going to be tearing down some altars, some witchcraft altars, and we were also going to just do whatever he told us to do. So that's kind of, we didn't know what we were doing. We'd never been there before. We had some people who were partnering with us from Sasselberg and Vereniging. I never said that word right, but you know what I'm talking about, hopefully.
You nailed it. You said it right.
I always think it's
I
saying,
promise you.
okay, thank you for stroking my
You
ego.
said it right.
Thank you, Lorado. um,
Yes, you said it right.
well, so anyway, a few people came with us, and um the Lord had us do some weird stuff. I mean, he always does this, but it's like,
Yeah.
oh, you need to bury this thing in the earth right here. Okay, we don't know why, but we do what we're told. Oh, you need to blow the shofar right here on this rock. And it was always like this. And so I remember we were at the Val Dam, and we didn't know that this was one reason the Lord told us to do this until we were there. But there was a real problem with I don't know what it's called, but I'm gonna call her the water queen. And it was not a good thing. It's like witchcraft thing. You might know what I'm talking about, Lorado. Um, but
I
anyway,
know.
okay. See, you're I'm glad you know.
I know.
So this water queen basically held the waters for a long time from raining, and then also controlled like put these water spirits in the water, starting from Val Dam, and it flowed all the way through Joburg and most of the country. So these waters that were with these water spirits flowed through all of this, and that's why he sent us, was to shut her down. And
Sure.
yeah, and to completely cleanse the waters. And so when we were there, we didn't realize that's what we're going for. We're just like, okay, Fall Triangle. Hey, is there a thing like that? sure enough, there is. And so anyway, kind of like the boiling the boiling banana peels. It's like, okay, Lord, this sounds weird, but I'm going with it. And so that's kind of how it was when we went there. And um he showed us, like, when we blew the shofar over the Val Dam, I cannot explain what happened in the earth. It's like all of creation started echoing it back. And it was so weird and powerful what happened. And when we did this, all of a sudden, all of these different creatures, like animals, started coming to us and being with us. And then, um,
Wow.
then he said, okay, you need to stick your hands into the water and infuse my spirit into the water. Now, this water was disgusting. Okay. It was like so gross. There was all this weird algae and stuff in it. And it was like blue and
Leeches.
green and gross. But we're like, okay, Lord, we got you. And so we're doing it. So we're sticking our hands in this, and we just feel this power flow through us. And I'm not kidding. When you hear the scripture, all of creation is longing for the sons of God to appear. This is exactly what it was. We stick our fingers in, and all of a sudden, the manifestation of the sons of God appears, and we start manifesting heaven into the earth in this water. And so we do this whole thing, and we're like, wow, I don't know how it changed, but it changed. We know it changed by faith. It's changed, right? And 2 days later, one of the guys, the guy from, I'm going to say it again, and I'm going to probably butcher it again, King. Anyway, please laugh at me. I know it's terrible. Okay, so anyway, that guy who was from there, he went back to the dam and took pictures of what happened. So we had befores and afters. Afterwards, the water was the clearest water you have ever seen. Beautiful, clear water. None of that crap was in it at all, which is wild. If you guys would see, like, how horrible it was and then how clear it was, there's nothing short of a miracle. It is the Lord. And so anyway, I'm saying all this to say we are supposed to be the weird ones who go and do the weird things, who bury some weird trinket the Lord tells us to bury in this place where a bunch of people being killed. We were over where all the shootings and stuff were with the Nelson Mandela stuff, Lorado. I don't know. I know you know about that. Anyway, tons of people were killed. That's where the Lord told us to bury this thing in the earth that had been anointed with the blood of Yeshua. Okay, so that was in the earth there. And so he's just doing these things with the earth and the water and the sky and the animals and all of these things. And we don't understand what we're doing. We're like going against witchcraft. We don't even understand this stuff. Like, this isn't anything that we're experts in, none of these things. I'm not an expert in water purification or any of this stuff. I don't know anything. But all I can do is just be one of these weird ambassadors. And I can be that person who says, yeah, I'll manifest whatever you tell me to do. Tell me what to do. I'll do it. I'll stick my fingers in the gross water. I'll, whatever it is, I'll do it. Even if it's flying across the whole world to get there. And so, anyway, I know what the Lord has for us is strange. But the more we start obeying the little things like that, we see the giant impact it has. We're just doing little tiny acts of obedience, and it's huge for changing this world and bringing the manifestation of the Spirit into the earth. And the Father has so much for us. All we do is rest in Him and know we have nothing. Like, I really have nothing outside of Him. I talk about this all the time. Here I am, single mom, somehow miraculously providing for my children. Okay. It is a miracle because I don't have skills. Like, what are my skills? I have nothing. I mean, what do I do? I help people every time in engaging in heaven. And guess what I do? I every time go with knowing nothing. That's what I do. I'm like, okay, Lord, I don't know what I'm doing. How do I help this person with their problem? And then he shows me some weird way of what to do to help them, and it changes their life. And it's like, I literally come with nothing, and that is my blessing. I know it's weird, but coming with nothing, I have no skills. I have, I really don't have good skills. I have some makeup skills, a little bit. I don't know what else I have. Like, I really don't have that many skills, but the Lord uses the little amount I have and turns it into something amazing because I just go, okay, I'll rely on you for everything. And so if you go, okay, I have no income, I have no skills, I have no knowledge. How do I do what Christine does when I don't know how? Well, you become like Christine and know nothing. I mean, that is the secret, is knowing nothing. And honestly, it is my biggest strength. It is my weakness is my biggest strength. That is my biggest strength, is that I literally don't know. And so I just go ask. And I go, okay, Lord, what do we do? What do you want me to do? How do you want me to do today? What am I going to do today? I don't think I have enough time. Okay, do this, this, and this. Sweet. Sounds good. I mean, even today, um, I don't know what's coming up, but I know at 3 o'clock something is going to happen because the Lord told me to cancel our Kingdom Builders podcast that was happening. I have no reason. I didn't put a reason on the cancellation. If you got an email about it, it just says it's canceled today. I don't know why. It's just because the Lord said to. So I know something's going to come up at that time that he needs to do. And I don't know what it is yet, but I'm planning for it because that's what he showed me. Okay, I'm going to govern time instead of letting time govern me. Lord, what do you want me to do? Cancel this? Okay. What do we do instead? I don't know yet. Whatever the Lord says is what's going to happen. And so there are things that we need to be able to add to our lives and things we need to be able to subtract from our lives when the Lord leads, and trust him even when we don't understand. Because most of the time, I won't understand. I won't have any idea how things work. I don't know how it worked that I created electricity in the earth from heaven with the Lord's direction. It was just because I didn't know. And so he sent some angels, told us to stand on salt, do these different things. I don't understand the physics behind it, but it worked. And every time that's what he leads us to do. We just have to be obedient and go, okay, I was planning on this, but he said to redirect. Right? Yes, go ahead, Pearl. Oh, you're muted.
I'm not sure, but maybe you could help with an answer to this
Sure.
from your experience with the Lord. Because I'm just learning how to walk by faith. If I were to engage and say something that the Lord didn't say,
Like, what do you mean?
like, let's say, like the banana skin thing just now,
Yeah.
is like weird. But what if I didn't get that from the Lord? It was just from my mind. What would the Lord do with that?
Well, for you, he would certainly honor that you are trying. There's that. He never will shame you for trying and for stepping out on faith. For me, if I boiled banana peels and drank the water, it wouldn't hurt me. I already know, because what I would be doing is doing it unto the Lord and with him. And so for me, if I'm taking it by faith, and I'm really doing it with him, it will produce fruit in some way. Now, if I say something to someone that I think God said and he didn't say, and they took it as his word without testing it, there would be consequences for them for sure. And that would be partially on me and partially on them. But if I'm doing it with the Lord, I always tell people, just like you did, oh, go ask the Lord about it. Go ask the Lord about it. Don't just trust it. Go ask the Lord about it. You said that. That's what I always say. Okay. So if the Lord says, hey, you're supposed to divorce your husband. By the way, I hate those stupid words. Those are like the worst. I hate anything that's like that. I try to always be obedient, but it's the worst because I'm like, I don't want to be responsible for somebody's life. You know what I mean? I don't want to be responsible for some major decision like that. But if the Lord says it, and I'm pretty dang sure he says it, because I'm not going to say it if I'm not, I still will say, don't just believe me. Go ask the Lord. Go ask the Lord and get confirmation from him about it. And I really believe that it's important for every believer to do that, to take responsibility for their own relationship. I despise when a person takes a word of a prophet and doesn't ever test it and just says, this is from the Lord, and tries to then blame the Lord for having something not come to pass because this prophet said it. That's stupid. I mean, that is ignorance. It's not something. I feel like you're very irresponsible and like a little baby if you do that. And so let none of us be those people who just go, well, Christine said. Shut up. I hate when people say that. You know how many times I've heard somebody say, well, Christine said this. I'm like, I am not the Lord. Like, I am a vessel. I try, but I'm not the Lord. Just quit trusting man and trust the Lord. So, anyway, yeah, that's my little rant on that, but that's what I would say. Yeah.
And if you're anything like me, I take forever. Somebody tells me something, and I'm constantly asking the Lord for confirmation, confirmation, confirmation. I generally don't jump on it, and unless I like really feel it popping, like the Holy Spirit just popping it in my heart. But I get you. I get you because I'm also I can. I'm getting better at not doubting myself when I feel like the Lord, you know.
Yeah.
Well, it was kind of a gentle. It wasn't loud and clear.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the reasons why I asked the Lord, Lord, speak to me loud and clear, loud and clear. So there's no shadow of a doubt, right? That it's you. Hit me with a 4x4, Lord. And he has.
Yeah. Lorado, I think you had something to add or a question or something.
I had a question. I wanted to ask, but Nadia kind of like also gave a first clue in how do we go about testing? Like what would be the list, your list, or the to-do list in your way or in your process of testing the word. Let's say here I have received the word. My next steps are in order for me to test and to confirm
Okay, I'll tell
that.
you what I do, and it may look totally different for every person. For me, I always ask the Lord, okay, so just between him and me, I ask him to tell me again. And then I usually ask him to tell me yet again. Okay. And that's just my own thing. And then if I still don't know or I'm feeling unsure, I will ask, okay, Lord, can you give me some sort of confirmation? And then I will say, okay, Lord, can you open up the scriptures and just show me something in the scriptures? And it could be that my confirmation looks like, and he built the wall of Jericho. You know what I mean? Um, for me, I'd be like, he did tell me to do this thing. Okay, you know what I mean? So it may not be like exactly a scripture that says something, but it speaks to my heart. He's speaking to my heart through it. And then I also find someone who I really trust that they hear clearly from the Lord. And I have a few people that are in my life that rarely get it wrong. And those are the ones I call. And I say, hey, the Lord, I feel like is saying this. Can you just ask the Lord what he's saying? Is this right? Can I get a confirmation? And I'll tell you, one of the hardest times for me was when he told me to divorce my husband, that we were supposed to be divorced. And it was freaky outy. Okay. Like I knew it was him, but it was also in my mind. I had this theology that was from the church that said you must never get divorced ever unless he cheats on you or dies. Like that's it. And so, um, okay, I'm just telling you that was my theology. So when the father told me this, I was like, well, you said you hate divorce. I literally argued with the father like an idiot, but this is what I did. I like said these things and had him tell me. And even after that, I'm like, this is a huge decision. This is a huge deal. I am going to very possibly destroy my whole family and my husband's life if I do this. And so it wasn't an easy, oh yeah, that's fine. I'll just by faith do this. It was, I need confirmation. And so I said, okay, Lord, I need more confirmation on this. I was like, when do I do it? What do I say? What, all of these things he started showing me very easily. And then I called up Lisa Gwynn. Now, let me tell you, some of you know Lisa. Her husband married my husband and I. Okay. So it was not only that she hears really clearly from the Lord, but she would be against this. Okay. Um, but I knew that she hears very clearly from the Lord. And she would not just take my word for it. You know what I mean? And so I said, Lisa, here's what the Lord said. And she just said, that does sound crazy. And I said, oh, can you ask the Lord? I just really believe that you'll hear clearly from the Lord on this. She asked the Lord, and the Lord confirmed everything to her. And it was against her belief system as well. You know what I mean? She had that same theology. And so for me, I had so many things confirm it when it was against what I wanted to do that I just had to trust him. And I'm 100% glad I did. 100%. I mean, I can't even think of what would happen if I didn't trust him in that. I found out so much later about why I shouldn't be with him. And I'm so glad that I trusted the Father in that. We truly were on separate paths. And one was toward the Lord and one wasn't. And so I go, okay, Lord, I trust you. And so that's what I do. I do all those little steps. That's what I do. But it looks different for everybody. Some people, do a sway test with their body to figure it out. I'm not that person, but I do it for other things. Hey, Lord, are you saying that my body needs this supplement? I'll do a sway test for that. So, you know, everybody's a little different in what they do to test things, but that's kind of what I do. I also try to follow the peace. So for me, I feel a peace on something, even if it's something I don't want to do. It's like I know in my heart there's peace there. I can feel the peace. And so if I feel the peace somewhere, it's a good indication for me that that's real, that that's the Lord. Even if I feel uncomfortable, he's telling me to do something I don't want to do, I always kind of know the pieces over in the direction. You know what I mean? He just shows me that. So I feel that in my heart. Does that help at all?
A lot.
No, good.
A lot. Thank you.
Yeah, pleasure.
Can I say something stupid but funny? I thought, don't do a physical sway test to see if you won't have a boyfriend sleepover or something like that. Their body might tell you the wrong.
That is true. Your hormones will be like, yes, please. Yeah, that's true.
Actually, recently I had another dream. It was so quick, I even thought probably it's not real, it's my mind. Whereby I saw the same lady. I suspect it's probably Lady Wisdom. She said that he's waiting on me. So there's a guy who's been trying to talk to me, and I knew he's not the one. And as soon as this dream happened, she said that he's waiting on me. So I knew I needed to get rid of this person who has my attention, who's trying to be in a relationship with me. I just had a feeling just when I remembered. So the dream will happen and I will not remember it immediately in the morning. But during the day, I would remember it like a student who didn't do a homework. And then you realize in the morning when you first open your eyes that I didn't finish my homework. That a bit of fear or a bit of concern, the dream comes in like that with a bit of, hey, pay attention. You didn't fix this. This needs your agent attention. And I knew that probably it was what it really is. It was not just a dream. Even if it was short, I knew that I had a bit of flu. My voice is a little bit hoarse. So yeah, um, I also wondering that I needed to test to confirm, you know.
I definitely think it is good, especially when you have dreams, to ask for confirmation from the Lord
Okay.
in some way, because I have seen dreams very clearly be your subconscious trying to work something out, and
Yeah.
and also direct words from the Lord, and then also the enemy trying to attack. And so it's so important that since we're not really conscious during that time, to be able to just go, okay, Lord, here, I'm putting this before you. Can you just show me, was this really from you? Is this something that I'm supposed to do?
Yeah.
That sort of thing. So, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, pleasure. Anything else, guys? Oh, I see stuff in the comments, but I don't have my glasses. Okay. Oh, no problem, Lorado. I only just now got this that you were late. um, Amanda, you said part of our identity and that we are worthy of that identity. What was that concerning? I don't remember.
When we were talking about how we view things as weird, and not seeing things through the heavenly realms or through the heavens,
Yeah.
how our mindset should be. Because sometimes I feel like I don't want to sit on my throne because I don't feel like I'm worthy of it.
Mm,
Like, that's a very high position. And who am I to be in that position, because I think growing up, we were always taught to be humble, but it was false humility to where it was like you can't pat yourself on the back and say, hey, you really did a good job on that. Or, it was always like, no, you can't take any kind of spotlight from that because, it's in the Bible, you can't do that, and so I think that's one of the things that, like, even at work, I had to allow myself to think of myself as professional to be
mm.
able to step into the role that I possess right now. And I still struggle with that sometimes, And so I think that's part of me sitting on my throne and I have to remind myself of my identity and who I am.
Mm-hmm. I would love to speak to that so that maybe you don't question it ever again. Okay. First of all, that is your throne the Father created for you, correct?
Yes.
If you don't sit on your throne, do you know that there are dragons, aka demonic things that are sitting on your throne?
Yes.
Yes. Are you the one who makes yourself worthy?
No.
No. Obviously, we are worthy by the blood of the Lamb. That is what that's the only thing that makes us worthy. That and the Father saying we are. If he says we're worthy, there's nothing that can stop us from being worthy. He taught me this. You've heard me say it a million times, I am sure. But that was one of the main things that happened to me in my first encounter with him at my Destiny Scroll. Was he told me what I was supposed to do, and immediately I said, "But no, Father, I'm not worthy of that." And he got mad. He stood up in his angry authority and said, "You don't tell me if you're worthy. I tell you if you're worthy." And immediately I bowed down, like, "Yes, Lord." Like it was that humbling. But it's funny, I had true humility at that point, understanding that he is the one who decides if I'm worthy or not. I don't get to decide that. The enemy doesn't get to decide that. People don't get to decide it. He's the only one who has the authority to decide if I'm worthy. So if he created a throne for you, he has decided you're worthy of it. And if you try to say something other than that, you better humble yourself before the Lord.
Thank you.
Yes, I love you. I hope you know it.
Thank you so much.
Yes. Pearl, I think you're talking to me or us.
So when you sit on your throne, is it in a specific location in heaven?
Yes. And no. Okay, yes. Okay, this is the strangest thing about that question. It's a very weird answer. Your throne is on your mountain, but it is in multiple realms. It is also right next to Yeshua and his throne. It is confusing because it doesn't always look like that, but it always is. It's like you can sit on, you remember when I said that I rule from multiple realms? I have seen people who are less mature, and I don't know, I don't get to decide their maturity. Okay. I'm just saying, like, when I engage with them, they can only engage in like this first realm of heaven. And I don't understand why exactly, except for maybe the Lord just hasn't allowed them to be opened up into the other realm. I don't really understand all of it. Okay. So I can't tell you why, but at this point, they're not mature enough to be in the other realms. And so they will only see their throne on their mountain like that. But as you engage the other realms and those are opened up to you, your throne, it's the same throne, but it might look different because it's in a whole different realm of heaven. It might look like it's in a different place. Like I have a throne in one of the realms of heaven that is the same throne, but it is in this like marble white building looking thing. I don't know how to explain it, but it's not the same as my mountain, but it's also the same as my mountain. So it's like, it's confusing, but it's kind of like it's a different layer of who we are and how we govern and where we govern from. So it is like it's our mountain, but it looks and feels different and higher. Does that make
So,
sense?
so does that mean then that we cannot govern if we're not sitting in our on our throne?
Yes. Yes. Okay. So you can govern, you will see yourself governing from lots of different places, but you will always be sitting in that seat of rest at the same time. So I might be in the courts or in the Father's house or whatever, or even just in the spirit realm of the earth. I could even be there. But I am always seated in my throne. If I'm not seated in my throne, I am letting other people govern. Okay. So here's what I do. If I feel like I'm not okay and can't govern, which I have those times in my life, say I'm just beat down and all I can do is depend on Father. I can't like do anything myself. Those are the times when the enemy will try to take over. But what I do, and I don't remember who taught me this, but I'm glad they did. Maybe it was the Lord. I don't know. But I abdicate my throne to Yeshua. So I ask him to take over my throne and to govern for me when I can't govern. And always he does, but it's like it's only temporary. Now, everything goes way better when he's governing. It's wonderfully annoying. It's like, why can't it just always be like this? But it's like the Lord wants us to take responsibility and learn. And so when we can, we must, if that makes sense. So we can't just have him always governing and become babies again. It's just he will do it when it's necessary. And then he will give it back to us and we need to sit on our throne again. Does that make sense?
Okay. So does that mean here are two examples then? So sometimes when I go to be with the Lord,
Yeah.
I'm let's say I'm sitting with him in the garden on a bench.
Sure.
That does not mean I'm governing, does it? I'm just sitting there with him because it's like
Right.
it's comfort. I just want to be with him.
Right. Yeah. It's just you're experiencing intimacy. Sometimes you are doing a form of governing in your garden. Like for me, there will be times when I'm with him and he's like, hey, you need to dig up this. This is going to sound weird, but this person from your garden. Usually they look like carrots or something to me. But anyway, I'm digging up this person who needs to be thrown out of my garden, or I need to tend to someone who's in the garden of my heart, that sort of thing. So sometimes that's a form of governing, I guess, while you're doing it with Yeshua. But most of the time for me, if I'm in the garden, I'm just enjoying his presence and like being with him. And so it's not really governing. It doesn't mean we aren't simultaneously sitting in our throne, on our mountain. We will be in lots of places at the same time. And so just because we see ourselves in the courts doesn't mean we're not in the garden and on our throne. You know what I mean? We can be all of the places.
So we
It's
just
hard.
need to be there by faith.
Say that again.
Does that mean we just need to know and to realize that we are in all these places on our throne by faith?
Yes. Yes. I think, yeah, we have to just remember. Yeah, it's almost like we have a knowing of it, without necessarily seeing it or experiencing it at that time.
Yeah.
It's the same. I have people who often get frustrated with, will be brought to the courts, and then the Lord, in the middle of the court case, takes us somewhere else. And he says he's finishing it. And it doesn't mean we have left the court. It's just he's wanting us to focus somewhere else. And that's more necessary to our soul. And so we just have to understand, just because our focus shifts doesn't mean we aren't there. And it's the same thing, like when my focus is all in the earth, it's not that I quit being in heaven. I'm always there. I'm already seated in heavenly places, right? With Yeshua. So there's no leaving. It's just, if we forget who we are, we stop manifesting. And so that's kind of the whole point of the heaven emerging, is that it is heaven coming to earth. And the more we can have our remembrance being that that's where we are, that's who we are, that's where we function from, that's where our intimacy is, all of that stuff, then we manifest all of that in the earth. But as soon as we forget and we just focus in the earth, then we stop manifesting heaven. You know what I mean?
Another question.
Sure.
And then I promise I won't take up every all the questions. Okay. Is it possible then for the Lord to give you a crown without a throne, or is it possible for you to be on your throne without a crown?
Probably. I mean, I don't know. I've received crowns outside of being on my throne.
Okay, good.
I don't just have one crown. So I don't know. Can you get a crown in your bedroom, but then
Yeah,
also get a crown in your living room?
yeah.
I would think. So I would guess it's similar,
Okay.
right? I don't know.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
feel like a
Pearl, you ask
crown
away because
is,
we learn from you.
yes, go ask the Lord. I think, to me, if you get a crown, it's helping clothe you in your identity. That's what that is. And I can wear the clothes of my identity anywhere. Is it appropriate everywhere? Probably not, but I could wear it anywhere. When I sit on my throne, must I have that crown? The crown isn't who I am, it's just a symbol of who I am. So, a lot of times when I receive something in the heavenly places, it becomes a part of who I am, and I literally carry it inside of me. The Lord will all of a sudden, oh, now I have this crown on. Oh, now I have the sword in my hand. And it's like it just is a part of who I am that I carry inside of me now. And so I don't think it's about location, really. That doesn't really make sense to me. But just like Nadia said, go ask the Lord. He'll show you even more in depth. Mine's just an experiential, that's what I think.
What I meant is that I like her asking questions because I learned from her questions too.
She's great at
My,
this. She gives the best questions.
yeah, I love it. Makes me think, oh, I haven't thought about that.
I know. I love it. Yes. So I wish you wouldn't quit asking questions.
Okay, got it.
Any other questions or comments?
I just want to say I love it when Yeshua takes over my throne, because usually you would have worries, we have concern. Did I do this one right? But the moment you ask him, it's like I can take a nap now. Everything is
Exactly.
taken care of.
Yes.
And I get concerned on, am I doing this right? Did I do this right?
Mm.
Is everything taken care of? Because I want to see more, feel more, know more in the realms, right? But I feel like I'm blindsided sometimes. Not, I don't want to say it like I'm blindsided all the time, but I don't sense, feel, see everything that's going on.
I do think that's a powerful part of engaging with other people, and is be able to use everyone else's gifts. Um, so I would recommend not doing this every day, but at least once a week. Engage with other people, make an appointment. I know you engage with Amanda a lot. Um, I think
And Myrna.
this class, we have some people who are really utilizing each other in this class, and we have other people who are lone wolfing it. I talked to someone earlier today who is doing that and who never engages with anyone else in this class. And so I recommend that you reach out this week and engage with someone else. Okay. Make sure it doesn't, you don't have to have any agenda. You can, but you don't have to. Just say, hey, let's engage together and see what the Lord has for us, because your senses will open up and you'll get a lot more when you engage with someone else. So please practice that. Cool.
Can I say something?
Yes, ma'am.
I was hoping, I wanted to ask this week that I can engage with someone regarding I think maybe I should go to the courts. I don't know, just to check. There's something I want to check. Um, in my family, my grandmother, I don't remember having a grandfather. My mom, I don't remember having a husband. I only remember boyfriends. My sister, she's also settling with boyfriends, not a husband. And I see almost the same approach of men coming to me as well. So I kind of like pick up a pattern now. I'm wondering if there's something in our family that is probably been happening, or the enemy is busy with it. So I'm looking for someone to engage with.
That's awesome. So, I don't know if anyone here, I know this isn't our whole class or anything, but if anyone here would feel led to engage with Lorado, I think that that is a really important thing that you're coming to, that you're recognizing the pattern. When you recognize the pattern, there's almost always demonic attachment to it. And so, super wise to try to go to the course and see what's up and get that cut off, especially, you know, for your son. If nothing else, I think that that's important, that he doesn't become that, and that, you know, and hopefully the Lord will provide a dad for him.
Yes, that's what I want for him. That's definitely what I want for him. I'm trusting God for that for him. I was not open to the idea, but the moment I thought of him, that he can get more than what I can just give him just as me, but another personality, another character can also inspire him even more into becoming the best version of himself, you know. And it's a lot of work with the boy child, so we do need help. Yes.
Oh, look at that. Amanda said, Nadia, did you put together a spreadsheet with our schedules? That seems
You know, that was my intention, but then all the responses were locked in middle of all the text messaging. So if you guys would just or maybe just message me directly and I will take care of that.
good idea. I think that would be so hard. Maybe it's just me, but my schedule changes all the time. I'm not sure how easy that would be to do that. So
I was hoping to just at least put like the time, what time we are, and even like for me in general, usually evenings are better for me. not every evening, but at least I have an idea. And then that way I can kind of glance and look, oh, so-and-so's available around this time. And then I can message them, a couple days before or a week in advance. I don't know, and then that way we can all make time for each other.
That's awesome.
Even like Saturday or Sunday.
Yeah. Cool. Awesome. Well, please, if you feel led to engage with Lorado, message her, reach out to her. Okay. I think that would be wonderful. All right. Any other questions or comments, guys?
The Lord said to me a couple of days ago that, and this is a long story short, that when I change my perspective and see myself with Him in His kingdom, it means then I don't necessarily need to remember protocols and legalities in the second realm. So that for me was a relief, because oftentimes if I'm dealing with something in the second realm, I have to remember the protocol, like, and I bind this, or Lord, forgive me for this, Lord, I confess. But when I'm with Him in that realm, it's as though it's all been done, and it's just a matter of just reinforcing it. And the way I reinforce it is He's shown me then that when I do something like that in the realm of His kingdom and it happens, this is where the Bible says, on earth as it is in heaven. Because once you establish it and you make it happen where He is, it kind of has to happen in the second realm and in the earth realm. So that was really encouraging.
That's awesome. Absolutely. That's my favorite thing. I think for a long time, people were always asking for protocols for heavenly things, especially in the courts, but all sorts of everything, really. Well, when should I do this? And how do I do this? And I need to know the order of when I need to, how do I govern? And I'm like, I don't think you're understanding the freedom. Like it protocol is just religion. It's making something in a way that doesn't have to be. And if we will just be in the Lord and with the Lord, it doesn't have to be difficult. There literally is no order. I mean, there is kingdom order, but not a specific order of, you must do this, this, and then this. It's just, hey, Lord, what are we doing? It's that easy. And He'll just be like, just rest here with me, do this, and then everything will manifest. Or, oh, here's this thing, you need to release the shalom over it. It's so different and wonderful. And I just appreciate you saying that, because I think that there's so much power in freedom and we kind of forget.
It's taken a long time.
Hi, Sadie. Well, I think if we just practice and practice, we'll get used to it, and that'll become who we are. And there's no need to really wondering if we're, what you said, Nidia. I'm always wondering if I'm doing things right or doing all the things. That stuff will disappear. You don't need to be wondering all the time.
It reminded me, like, it's a relationship, love relationship. We're not gonna have a recipe on how to love people. We just do it. We just love on them, and they just love on us.
Yep.
And that's a reminder the Lord just told me right now. It's a love relationship, right? Don't worry too much about how, where. It's just, sometimes it's just doing it in love.
Yes.
That's all.
Thank
you, Lord.
It's perfect.
I just feel a hug.
Yay. I love it.
I love that, Nadia. Good reminder.
Yay. Awesome. Well, I love you guys. I'm excited about this class and what the Lord's going to start manifesting through us. It's exciting. So I will talk to you later. All right. Bye, guys.
Have a great evening or day.
Thank you. You too.
All right. Love you guys.